Hello, everyone. My name is Joseph Vertino. Um, I just watched a video by Daniela Breen on YouTube, and the video I just watched was labeled Fifth Dimensional Beings in a Fourth Dimensional World. Um, and yeah, it's a good video. And she talked about how she started, and that so they told instead of labeling herself to just start talking and sending out messages on Facebook and just expressing her truth. So I thought of making a video and instead of labeling myself to express my truth and to see if it resonated with anyone or could help anyone. Um, well, I have been very interested in the past. Um, I don't know if I'd say years, but the past feels like years. The past few months, um, in aliens and uh, different life forms, um, and I'm jealous of the people that say they've had contact with it. I've only had experience with light beings or something. Whenever I talk about that, I'm just like, well, that sounds awesome. I wish I had something like that. You know, um, I'll tell you a quick story. One of the days after I started getting into aliens and the different kind of species and races and benevolent, an agenda and all the where they're from and what they've done and what they look like, and getting into it. I had a dream one night, and still fresh. It's still there. Um, um, so what it was is there's a band, my favorite band called Meshuggah, and the drummer from the band, I feel like I have a very strong connection with him, and um, and then I can relate to him, and he was in my dream, and we were, I would say, communicating with each other, but we weren't talking, so it was, telepathic, but I think it was more heart to heart rather than brain to brain thing. And I don't remember seeing images, and that's what I hear of, even though I've never really had experience with it, of telepathic communication, is you're seeing images. So it's not so much you're hearing words, but it's like you're getting a lot of information that's condensed at you know, a lot at a time. But this wasn't like that. This was more of a feeling. Like I felt, you know, his presence or vibration or whatever you want to call it. But I was with him, and we were just in different like places, and just sitting there, almost like just kind of looking at each other. Not so much like intently staring at each other, but it's like just like being there. It just felt awesome. And then after we were in different places, you know how dreams work. You just go somewhere. There's no like walking. You just appear. We came to my backyard, and we were there sitting there, and then it was nighttime, and I remember seeing his silhouette, so his head and his body and blackness just sitting there, kind of just, being great, it's awesome. But then after that, um, his silhouette turned into what I, later identified, I guess we could say, as an alien silhouette. And it had a very distinct shape of the head and the neck. And now that I think about it, when I've been telling this to people, it kind of looks like from the movie E.T., how E.T.'s head is almost like a block, and he has a thin neck, and and even the color and the body shape is similar to that. Um, but it was very distinctive. But it was like a silhouette. So it was more of like the profile, the side from the side, and it was like a block head, almost squared off, almost, and not really proportional to the rest of the body. But it wasn't like the grays. It wasn't like a big. It wasn't like upwards. It was like out over the neck, kind of in a weird way. Um, but then when I saw that silhouette, and then I remember, and I'm not sure if this was in the dream. Maybe it might have came after. Well, the feeling was there. The feeling was the most amazing because it was like I've gone through my life feeling like no one's ever actually understood me. You know, no one's, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that believe that, but that no one can, like, that my perspective or the way I experience things is different from everyone around me, but especially my emotions and all this, that no one's ever related to it. But in that instant, I felt like he could feel what I was feeling, and that was great. But then what I was going to say is what I think came later was that the visual that he had a white glow in his heart chakra coming out, kind of just, well, not like coming out like a beam, but just like being there, like emanating it. And yeah, it was great. But I'm trying to remember. Well, yeah, I'm just talking. I just want to talk because I feel like if this could help someone, that's why I'm doing this. I don't have really anything I necessarily want to say, but I just feel like if this could help someone out there, that this is worth doing. So I had that experience, and also another thing tied on to that story. Also, I later named him Ray. Ray is his nickname now. The alien Ray. Oh, and this is the next thing that made that for evidence, to satisfy the left brain of that actually happened. My left brain is the next day I was searching videos of different alien races, and I came across one that was like sketches, and I think if you search seven different alien race sketches, it's like a white guy like doing sketches, and it's like on almost a TV show kind of setting, just like a clip, like maybe 8 minutes or something. But if you go to that, I think it might have been the second last or the last sketch that is in that clip that they refer to as neonates. First time I watched that video clip, I almost like just fell out of my chair. It's just like just hit me that that actually happened. That it wasn't in my head or whatever that means. Because I saw it, and that sketch was the exact same. That distinct profile, the silhouette, was the exact same one the next day after. So that was cool. And also, I think this was before I went to the Meshuggah concert, which, if you remember before, I said the drummer from Meshuggah, Thomas Hake, it was him. I wouldn't say turned into the alien, but he was there before. Well, Ray, I should say. Ray, my friend, I love him. He was me and him were there before in the dream, and then Ray was there. So, and what I was saying is, I think this was before I went to their concert, but when I went to their concert, which was awesome. I also saw Animals as Leaders in Meshuggah. If anyone's interested, I'll talk about it. It's like the best in Toronto in May, I think. It was awesome. Anyways, when he came on stage, he was just, I don't know if you guys know what he's like, but he's awesome. So he comes on stage, and he's just there and just does their shit, and they start playing. And he doesn't look up, necessarily. He's kind of more of just like, being just focused and trance meditative, sage-like, just cool, And, but the two times of when I was there, the two times that he opened his eyes and looked up, because I was pretty much looking at him the whole time, he looked directly at me. Both times he looked up. So that was awesome. And I was told later in a psychic session over the phone that's I told her that story and everything. She said that was some kind of connection there. So, and that maybe some kind of, I forgot what you called it, but it's like maybe we are supposed to teach each other something, you know. And I've definitely learned from him. Um, God, I would love to meet him in real life. Well, this is long enough for first video, 10.5 minutes. I mean, if you guys like listening to me talk, I will make these videos if it's helping someone. You know, give me a subject and I'll talk about it. I'm opinionated, and I'm passionate, and I have a lot of time in my hands. So those three combinations, I will make more videos if you guys enjoy this. If it is doing anything to help you, just let me know. You know, comment, and I love you. Bye.